We are at our Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Public notice is hereby given that this meeting will occur electronically without an anchor location in accordance with Utah Code 52-4-207 Rule 4 due to infectious disease COVID-19 novel coronavirus. The Budget and Finance Committee Chair has determined that conducting a meeting with an anchor location presents substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at the anchor location because physical distancing measures may be difficult to maintain in the Murray City Council chambers. All right, this meeting has been called to order. And we're going to start out, we're looking at our contingency list today. And our first one is non-departmental, page 66, Youth Chamber. And Dale, do you want to talk about that?
Well, I'd just like to raise the allotment we give to the youth chamber. These kids are important. They do a lot of work and they learn a lot. I'd like to raise it from $25,000 to $3,500.
All right. Any opposition?
No, I have no opposition.
All right.
No, I just like to indicate my support. I think it's a great idea, and I would like to encourage more kids to be involved, and I think this is one way that we can extend a welcome and let them know how valuable they are to the city and to the council. Thank you. Thanks, Dale.
And we probably have one of the greatest programs in the state.
I agree.
Sherry Van Bibber has been very committed to this, and I don't know how many projects they do a year, but it's at least 50. So it's
Sherry's
amazing.
great.
So,
Yeah, really.
So thank you.
Really appreciate her.
And do we need to take any formal votes for any of these or just general?
I think just a general consensus is okay for me because you're going to have to vote on.
Vote on it anyway.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
it's not a formal, it's just a yes, we're kind of,
Okay.
go ahead and do the work it will take. And my plan for this, and if you're in agreement with the next one, is to just lower the miscellaneous budget line item in non-departmental by the amount that we are adding to the youth chamber. And the youth chamber dinner, we will also put in there. It's not something that I believe that council should pay for and get allocated to the rest of the city. It's more of a, and I think it will also need to appear in the addendum because they're not city employees, so
Okay.
we'll adjust the addendum. If you're in agreement with the next item, I kind of jumped ahead.
Well, I think we were all in consensus for the last one, so we can go ahead. I'll jump together to the pay for youth chamber to attend the ULCT Local Officials Day, which is $1,400. And Dale, did you want to say anything about that?
I just think this is a good stroke of business because when we get to that, they're scattered every place and we can't find them chairs sometimes or tables. So when we, and this, thanks to Jennifer for doing it, if it's passed, but when we make our reservations, she can make those as well so they can sit with us, with the mayor, with the local officials from Murray instead of trying to find a place to sit.
Yeah, I agree with that one also. Thank you.
Great. It seems we have general consensus.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you for bringing it. The next item is from MCEA, and that is to waive golf cart fees for the golf tournament, which the amount is $670. And yeah, does anyone want to say anything about that one? Any concerns, comments? All right. I think it's an easy thing we can do to support them.
Yes.
Yeah, so all that really happens in the budget for that, it gets added to the addendum because they are not technically a city, part of the city.
Right.
So it gets added to one of the things we are giving away.
Okay,
So,
great. I'm glad we're doing that. I
Yes.
think it's a nice
Absolutely.
thing,
Yeah, me too.
especially because we're getting those new fancy golf carts, right?
Right.
It'll be very exciting. All right, so finally we hop down to the discussion about employees who are at the top of their pay scale and issues of bonuses and things like that. Dale, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'd like to move it to a dollar amount instead of a percentage. if we go ahead with that, give everybody the same amount, because I think percentages could screw up not only the STEP program, but one person might get more than another, and I think this is just to show appreciation.
So let me ask, so this is just so if you're redlined, in fact, I guess, is Brenda going to talk about how much and all that? Okay. All right. But it's, so if they're redlined and they're not getting an increase, as we talked about yesterday, then they'll not a percentage, they would just get a certain dollar amount. Does that happen at the end of the year? Does that happen? When does that happen?
Well, since we have stopped doing red line bonuses since the STEP plan came in, because it solved the issue or parts of the issues that we were having and the reason we were doing red line bonuses. Financially, as a finance person, I don't think we should do red line bonuses. It is everyone that's in step 12 or above is getting paid at high market, or if they're in a high demand type of job or what we call a high value, they are getting paid above market. So financially, if we give any type of a red line bonus, we're doing this out of reserves. You have to remember, this whole budget is coming out of reserves. So, and I didn't do the math, but we collect approximately $9 million in property tax, and our reserves that we are using is 2.7. So if you think about that, that's about a third of our property tax that we're collecting. So if we wanted to not use reserves this year, we would need a 30% property tax increase. So I don't want to set a precedence to start a red line bonus. You do that this year, they're going to want it next year. And next year, we're going to be sitting here trying to decide, do we fund our health insurance increase by switching from 85-15 to 80-20? And I think you understand what, okay. Do we force to save on insurance everyone to be on the HSA? Right now, it's optional. HSA would save the city a ton of money if we were all on the high deductible STAR plan. But we're not. We give people the option. So financially, it's not a really good precedence to start setting. And
Let me ask a question, Brenda. When did it, remind me when it started, when it stopped? I can't
the red line bonus?
Yeah.
It was probably, I know they were doing it prior to when we hit the, prior to when we did the STEP plan, which was in 2017.
Okay.
That's the 2018-19.
Did we do it after that one or two
No,
times?
we
No, it
did not.
stopped after the
We
step.
have not ever, since we went on the STEP plan. And part of the reason we went on the STEP plan itself was we did a compensation study just to make sure that everybody was being fairly compensated. Turned out most of the ranges were okay. Some of them went up, some of them went down. We were reasonable. HR had done a really good job of doing some studies. We were reasonable. The problem is it took, you could be here 20 years and you still weren't at your max, because one year we'd get maybe a 1% merit, maybe a 2% COLA, 1% merit. The next year, oh, we can't afford a merit, so we'll just give you a COLA. People were really happy if you got a 2% merit. Now what's happening in the STEP plan, as you're a new employee, you get a 5% merit. That's basically what the STEP is. It's a 5% merit. And then after 5 years, you get a 2.5% merit. So you are almost guaranteed, unless you switch jobs, at year 12 or less, you will be at the top of your range. And then we will adjust your range based on market or reevaluation every year. I had some step 12 people who are getting adjustments because their ranges have changed. We never lower anybody's range, we only increase them. So, and
How
the
many,
other,
how many employees are redlined?
135.
Oh, not many.
Because we are stepping them through the steps very quickly. I think, if the mayor's okay, I think the mayor, he worked for us for over 20 years and never got to the top of his range because of what I just said. So, but we make sure that that range is fair and balanced. The other thing is everybody is in the city, including you, are getting the 3% COLA. I did just a quick little study on the 3% COLA of how much dollars those are. Other than okay, on average, everyone in the city, I pulled you guys out because you're not full-time employees, so I pulled you guys out to not skew the things. All employees on average are getting a $2,130 increase this year. You
said all employees are?
On average. So
not the red line,
high.
but not the red line or something.
Everybody. No,
Everybody.
red lines.
Oh, they will still get that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red lines,
Say that amount again, Brenda.
2,130. So if I just look at my other than step 12 people, and let me do this really quick because we have a minute. Make that small. Find my Zoom thing so I can share this. Screen that and share. And then let's pop this one. Okay, this is just my quick little spreadsheet I did, and it looks like on that one, for some reason, on the one that you're seeing up there, you're not seeing the whole thing. It's starting with the COLA, but that'll work. So the all employees average is 2130. The other than step 12. So that is everybody that is step 11 or below. Their COLA their average COLA is $19.85. The low person is getting $8.89, and the high one is getting $48.95. I can tell you who that is, but it doesn't matter. Step 12 employees, so the ones that are at step 12, their average COLA is $23.98. Their low is $12.47, and their high is $52.48. Now that high one, I just put it in there because it is the high, but that is someone who has been here a long, long time and has huge responsibilities. That's why their COLA is bigger than everybody else's. And it's not the mayor. The difference is, yeah, he is not the mayor is not the highest paid employee in the city. The difference from the step 12 and the other than step 12 is $413. They're already getting more dollars than everybody else.
Yeah, so that sounds fair to me. I mean, that. Yeah.
I guess the only part that honestly confused me yesterday is when, and Blair, I don't know if I'm quoting you exactly, but when you said it's a little late in the game, I'm thinking like, I don't understand that. When the budget comes to us, are we just supposed to rubber stamp it? It didn't make any sense to me yesterday that I felt like, oh my gosh, we shouldn't be, obviously we respect and always go through everything that you guys, I mean, I don't think we've hardly ever changed anything, and we've always been really respectful. But yesterday I left thinking, gosh, are we never supposed to touch this when that gets to that point?
No, let me clarify what I meant by that.
Okay.
The compensation package, we start on that working with finance and with HR clear back in February, March, working on looking at numbers and actually inviting the Employees Association as well to give input, looking at insurance premiums and those kind of things, so that the package is put together so that by the time it's in this budget, it's been vetted very well through all of the people that need to put their fingerprints on it. So, and frankly, it is kind of late to do that at this point, to start making changes to a compensation package that's really complicated. Adding just a few dollars is easy to do. But when you're talking, and you really are talking a total compensation package here, that there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's not something that you can easily change on the fly. Does that make sense?
We can put that back up, Brenda.
Oh, fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so other than the step 12, their average COLA is 19, their low is 8 or 9, high is, and they're all getting a step increase as well?
Yes, they will get a step increase as well.
The average,
They will also get their step either at 5 or 2.5%, depending on where they are in the step program.
yeah, what concerns me, or what concerned me, was also, this is 2 years in a row that the people over 12, or step 12, haven't gotten, well, they'll get a cost of living increase, but what was the increase in healthcare in those 2 years? Because that's really what I was thinking about, and give them a little something because they're not getting a step increase. This more than covers health increase, and
It more than covers the health increase that they're going to have to pay.
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I have not done the math on that, but the amount that they're going to have to pay, yes, that covers that. The amount that the city has to pay doesn't even come close.
Yeah, I understand how that works.
Yeah.
Did some quick math. If we gave them each $200, that'd be 27 grand, which isn't a lot of money, but it is a lot of money. But it appears to me as though there's enough, even with the step 12 with the COLA, to cover increases and still give them a bit of an increase. So the 200 would be more token than anything else.
And I appreciate you showing that, because yesterday, and I'll put that on me, I didn't realize that 2,100, I didn't realize that figure. So that, for me, that makes a huge difference.
3% increase. Of course, as you can see, the lowest paid employee in the city
Sure.
will only get $889.
Sure.
Because of where they are sitting on their range, for one thing, they're on the low end of the range, and so that 3% to their salary, but it also increases their cap later by 3%.
But they'll get the step increase, though.
They will get a step increase.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad we've been able to fund the step plan that we were last year, and that we have been able to.
Yeah.
I think that's so important, and I think that really tells our employees how valuable they are to us. So,
And we truly don't have a retention problem in the city right now. We are losing a few police officers to Taylorsville because they're paying a high premium. And I know of one who's getting a promotion that wouldn't have happened here in our city for another at least 3 to 4 years. So I don't blame him. My employee's leaving for that whole reason. He can be finance director now as opposed to finance director when I leave. What would you do? You would go someplace else. So most people are leaving for a different or higher level job that's not available in the city.
I'd never leave, because just the opportunity to work for you would be
I know.
X amount of dollars.
I know.
Well, it sounds like the step plan is working, and the 3% COLA is, good for everyone. And we don't need to fix a problem that isn't really a problem.
A great conversation. I really
But yes,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Important to have and important to discuss. And thank you for the numbers.
yeah,
Well, and I think
thanks,
we ought to
Brenda.
keep it in the back of our mind for future times if
Sure.
something comes up. But yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Appreciate that information.
Just for a quick thing, if you guys want a refresher on how the step plan works, the video that was done for all of the employees is still on the intranet, and you can
Right.
click on it and watch it.
Thank you, Brenda.
Because that actually really explains it. I watched it again last night, so it was a refresher. So,
All right. Thank you.
Okay, well, it
Thanks,
looks
Mayor.
like we have consensus for the first 3 items, and we are not moving forward with the 4th. Do we all agree with that assessment? Okay.
Yes.
And seeing nothing else that we need to discuss, this meeting is adjourned.